Nikola's the best player in the world, man, and I just try to play off of him, make the game easy for him, and he does a hell of a job making it easy for myself and everybody else as well.
When we think of a player having the greatest NBA season peak ever, the old heads think of Michael Jordan's 1987 to 1988 campaign, while today's fans would say it's LeBron's 2012 to 2013 season. Both these GOATs raise the bar for not only what it means to be at your most productive and efficient best, but also how a player can be the difference between his team winning or losing. And while other players such as Kobe, Steph Curry, Giannis, and KD had peaks that were iconic, none could quite reach those Jordan-LeBron levels. Until Nikola Jokic happened and totally destroyed all notions of what a GOAT at the peak of his powers looks like. And quite frankly, it's no joke to ask. Is the Joker having the greatest NBA season peak in history? This season, Nikola Jokic is leveling up on what it means to be great in the NBA. But some people are only leveling up on the hate.
So you're telling me that 32, 13, and 10.
32 and 9.7.
Yeah, we round up in there.
We're not giving triple doubles.
Wow.
We round up. No. You can't round up on a triple double. You can't round up on a triple double.
That's what Jokic's numbers can do to you. 31.6 points, 13 rebounds, and 9.9 assists. Those are numbers you'd only expect if you turned all the sliders up on NBA 2K and played against the computer on rookie mode. Yet, here we are, watching Jokic post those numbers in a more competitive league and conference. And still, we have many who believe he's just smart at stat padding. For those who think that, here's something to think about. Without Jokic on the court, the Nuggets have the worst offensive rating in the league's history at 86.3. But with him on the court, they have the best offensive rating in NBA history at 122.5. That means Jokic is literally the difference between the best offense and the worst offense we've ever seen in the NBA. It would be impossible to have such a wild impact without wild numbers. Yet there's more. In the last 10 games, Jokic recorded 6 triple-doubles, including 5 in 5 straight games, all of which the Nuggets won. But beyond these stats, it's how Jokic controls the game too. As one comment said, Jokic is not even playing against the players on the court, he's playing against their coaches. Unsurprisingly, Jokic is the frontrunner for the 2025 MVP award. And while voter fatigue might have affected other players such as LeBron, Giannis, or Curry, it might not work this time because Jokic is not only redefining what it means to be an MVP, but also what the peak of an MVP is. At 29, Jokic is in his prime, and he's showing us all what happens when a generational talent hits their physical and mental peak at the same time. According to advanced metrics, his start to the 2024-2025 season includes the second best 10-game stretch of his entire career. But get this, his offensive box plus minus is 10.70, putting him on pace to shatter the all-time record set by Steph Curry during his unanimous MVP season in 2016. Just think about that. Curry's 2016 season is often considered the gold standard for individual excellence, and Jokic is blowing it out of the water. What's more, he is on pace to set the NBA Triple Crown record. That is leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists per game, all in the same season. It sounds impossible because it is. No one has ever come close. Even the two players who average a triple-double for an entire season, Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook, never managed to lead the league in both assists and rebounds. Jokic is now third in rebounds, second in assists, and second in points. But let's not pretend this level of performance comes without concerns. Jokic is averaging 38.2 minutes per game, more than he's ever played in a regular season. And for a player who just came off a grueling championship run and Olympic summer, this kind of workload could take a toll. The Nuggets need to manage his numbers carefully if they want him to stay fresh for another playoff run. But if he can sustain anything close to this level of play, he's not just in the conversation for another MVP, he's carving out a place among the all-time greats. Let's break it all down. While some people might feel it's wrong to compare the Joker to legends like Michael Jordan or LeBron or even Kareem, Jokic's efficiency and impact says otherwise. For example, many consider Jordan's peak season as 1987 to 1988, when he won both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. That year, the gap between Jordan and the second most efficient player was the wildest we had ever seen. Right now, Jokic is averaging a triple-double, and in terms of advanced stats like player efficiency rating and box plus minus, Jokic is head and shoulders ahead of of everyone. The second best this season is SGA at 8.26. But maybe what's even more special is how he's dominating the game. It's not athleticism or strength like Jordan or LeBron. He's doing it with his basketball IQ, picking defenses apart. If Kareem had the skyhook, Wilt had the raw athleticism, Jordan had the killer instinct, and LeBron has the all-around versatility, Jokic, he has the vision of a point guard trapped in the body of a 7-footer. Now, imagine being that and shooting over 62% from the field and 56% from 3. That should be illegal, but it's happening right in front of our eyes. The other legends may have been dominant, but none of them paired scoring, rebounding, and playmaking at this absurd level of efficiency. Now, Jimmy High Roller's season score calculations help us put this all into a number by summing up a player's averages in key traditional stats and advanced metrics. So, Jordan's career peaks from 1987 to 1991 scored 123.18 and remains the best among all players that have peaked. But if we assume that Jokic has reached his peak now, then he is number one with a season score of 133.25. But for how long can he keep on at this level without almost dying?
Well, yes, a little bit. Yeah, I felt a little bit more tired. The second half much better than the first half. First half I almost died.
With all this greatness, one question looms over Nikola Jokic's future. How long can he keep this up? Dominating at this level is one thing, sustaining it is another. Right now, Jokic is playing the most minutes of his career during a regular season, an average of 38.2 per game. That's more than any other superstar this season, and it's a workload that would make even LeBron James at his peak think twice. For a player who just carried the Denver Nuggets to a championship and then spent the summer representing Serbia in the Olympics, this kind of mileage is concerning. But it also raises the question, how much can one man shoulder before it starts to wear him down? It's not just the physical toll. Sustaining this kind of mental focus and consistency over the years is an entirely different challenge. The greatest players, Jordan, Kareem, LeBron, they all had to adapt their games to extend their primes. Jordan became more of a mid-range maestro. Kareem leaned even more on his skyhook. LeBron developed a post game and redefined his three-point shooting. Jokic may eventually need to scale back his workload and evolve his game to keep dominating well into his 30s. But here's the thing, Jokic's style of play might actually make him more suited for longevity than the legends who came before him. He's not relying on explosive athleticism that will fade with age. His game is built on skill, timing, and an unparalleled basketball IQ. His ability to create shots for himself and others isn't going anywhere. And as long as he stays healthy, there's no reason he can't maintain this level of play for several more years. But what happens if he can sustain this peak and continue to rack up MVPs and championships? He'll definitely have to join a tier of players reserved for the true immortals: Kareem, Russell, Jordan, Wilt, and LeBron. Because winning a fourth MVP would tie him with LeBron and Wilt. Adding another championship would put him in the rarest company, alongside players who defined their eras and redefined greatness. The scary part? Jokic is already one of the greatest players of all time. Sustaining this peak would shift the conversation from, is Jokic top 10 all time, to, is Jokic the greatest ever? And right now, we're all just watching history unfold.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Watching history, folks. You're watching history. It's a history channel.
Nikola Jokic isn't just in his prime, he's redefining what a prime looks like. His unprecedented combination of scoring, rebounding, and playmaking isn't just dominating the NBA, it's reshaping it. This season has proven one thing beyond doubt. Jokic isn't playing basketball, he's mastering it. I mean, this is a man who's recording more PPG than Kobe in his MVP year, more APG than Nash in his MVP years, and more RPG than Duncan in his MVP years. Higher three-point percentage than Curry ever. But then the real question is, how long can he maintain this historic level of play and where his legacy will ultimately land? So, do you think he will end up on the Mount Rushmore of basketball? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then you should check out our video on what Charles Barkley said about Jokic's prime and the Nuggets.